Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst team. I'm Martin Satyanesan, starting off with a look at your headlines. Whatever the difficulties we have confronted, our policy of people first cannot be compromised, says President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Remains of Minister Arumugam Thondaman brought to his residence in Rambuda. A rare black leopard recently rescued from a snare in Nalatanya has died. Starting off with the first story, a rare black leopard recently rescued from a snare in an estate in Nalatanya, a remote village in the central province, has died.
The rare black leopard was receiving treatment at the Elephant Transit Home in Udawalawa under the care of wildlife officials. On Tuesday, a rare black leopard, which is believed to be extinct until recently, was found trapped in a snare that was set up to keep wild animals away from cultivations. On Wednesday, the suspect who had set up the snare was arrested by the police for questioning. One of the 8 subspecies of leopard found around the world, the Sri Lankan leopard, scientifically known as Panthera pardus cotia, is classified as endangered with a 2015 estimate placing the population at between 700 to 950 individuals. Black leopard with a genetic anomaly which gives them their black fur is an extremely rare sight.
Moving on with more local news, addressing a virtual high-level event on financing for development in the era of COVID-19 and beyond. With other world leaders, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa expressed the following views.
Global trade, tourism, investments and employment have come to a standstill. Countries which have been systematically reducing fiscal deficit have seen a reverse as real economy is no longer income and employment generating. Debt, which has also been on a declining trend, has seen a corresponding reversal. Banking is getting a hit as non-performing assets have risen and confronted with a liquidity crisis. In Sri Lanka, main transmission channels through labor income, export-related income, tourism and connected services have impacted our real economy. Loss of employment and livelihood is large. Whatever the difficulties we have confronted, our policy of people first cannot be compromised. As this is a crisis beyond the control of government and business, international support by way of unconditional budget support and compensatory debt deferment facilities for official debt will have to come from multilateral and bilateral official lenders so that private debt and equity markets will not lose confidence. I underscored the need for development financing when I spoke with His Excellency Xi Jinping, President of People's Republic of China, Prime Minister of India Honorable Narendra Modi, and US National Security Advisor Mr. Robert O'Brien. It is noted that middle-income countries seem to get subsumed under the overarching classification of developing countries and thereby their requirements are not wholly met. The fast actions by large bilateral, multilateral agencies without placing conditionalities among themselves and coming forward as development partners is the responsibility of leading agencies and leaders of the world.
In a story that has sent shocks across the political community in Sri Lanka, the remains of Minister Arumugam Thondaman currently lie at his residence in Vevantan, President has requested all financial institutions to repay the maximum amount of funds to their depositors. Co-cabinet spokesperson Minister Bandula Gunawardena made these remarks at a media briefing today.
Many depositors are under enormous pressure after investing in the loss-making financial institutions due to COVID-19. After the issue was brought to our attention by these depositors, we presented it to Cabinet. Accordingly, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa instructed his secretary P. Vijayasundara to inquire with the central bank and submit a report to the Cabinet. And a report was presented by the CBSL. President has ordered these financial institutions to pay the funds at the maximum level for its depositors. Another argument there was, since most of the depositors have taken legal action, the repayment will have to be made only after a verdict is issued.
Meanwhile, Cabinet approved to construct another building complex for the House of Magistrates Court.
Next, the Minister of Justice, Human Rights and Legal Reforms, Nimal Siripala de Silva, presented a cabinet paper to construct another building for the House of Magistrates Court. A grant of 500 million yuan will be given by the Chinese government. This will be constructed in Panchakawa, Maradana.
Meanwhile, a shooting incident was reported at a hotel in Soisapura, Morotua.
The incident was reported at around 12:30 last night. It was reported that 12 shots had been fired at the hotel. Police said information has revealed that a group who had arrived in a car had carried out the shooting. The group has also caused damages to the window of the hotel on previous occasions. Police suspect the incident was a result of a dispute between two groups.
The total number of COVID-19 infections has risen to 1,530 in the island, after 61 more cases were reported yesterday.
35 of the infected cases have arrived from overseas, while 26 of them are members of the Sri Lanka Navy. 775 patients are currently receiving treatment in hospitals. Meanwhile, 13 recovered COVID-19 patients were discharged from hospital yesterday. Accordingly, the total number of recovered cases stand at 745. Acting Chief of Defence Staff and the Commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, said so far 708 members of the Navy have been infected with COVID-19.
Yesterday in Sri Lanka, we have found 61 COVID cases. Out of these 61 COVID cases, 26 are from Sri Lanka Navy, and the balance 35 are those who came from abroad last week. So out of these 35 returnees from abroad, 18 are from Kuwait and 17 are from Dubai. So altogether there had been 61 COVID cases yesterday. As of today, Sri Lanka Army, Navy and Air Force are running 44 quarantine centers, and we have 5,169 getting quarantined in these quarantine centers. And today we are planning to release 15 of such people who got quarantined under our quarantine centers. So far we have released 11,041 getting quarantined in these centers have released. This morning we got a flight from Belarus. Sri Lankan aircraft brought 277 passengers from Belarus, and at this moment they have been transferred to quarantine centers.
Now, news from the courts. The fundamental rights petition filed challenging the decision to hold the election on the 20th of June was taken up for the 9th day today. The 5-member bench headed by Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya is hearing the case. Moving along, the government printer said it was informed by the National Elections Commission to prepare the printing the ballot papers for the upcoming general elections.
Government printer Gangani Kalpaniliyanage, Speaker Newsfirst, said after nominations are accepted, the National Elections Commission hand over to the government press the necessary documentation to print the ballot papers. However, the COVID-19 pandemic had delayed the process. She said all measures are in place to immediately print the ballot papers once the situation surrounding the election is resolved. 1.7 million ballot papers are to be printed for the 2020 general election.
The revision bill application filed by ex-Minister Rajitha Senaratne will be called up again on the 11th of June by the Court of Appeal.
The application was called up for consideration today in the presence of Court of Appeal Justices Achala Vengapuli and Priyantha Fernando. Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Piris informed court there was no reasonable and sufficient facts produced by the defence requesting to reverse the order given by the Colombo High Court on the 13th of May, quashing the bail order given by the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court on the 30th of December 2019. Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Pevis, appearing for the Attorney General and the Criminal Investigations Department, requested court to dismiss the application without even taking it up for examination. The Deputy Solicitor General filed objections with court today with regard to the revision bail application.
In your weather update for the day, southwest monsoon condition is gradually establishing over the country. According to the Met Department, prevailing showery condition in the southwestern part of the island is expected to continue further.
Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern and southern provinces. Fairly heavy falls of about 75 mm can be expected at some places in Kalutara, Gaul, Matara, Ratnapura, Kegaul and Nuwara districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in eastern Nanuwa provinces and in Polonnaruwa district after 2 p.m. Wind speed can be increased up to 40 km per hour at times over the island. General public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity and localized strong winds during thunder showers.